On a quiet street in an African neighborhood lived a young man named Daniel. To anyone who passed by, he looked like every other dreamer, full of ideas, but constantly weighed down by failure. He wasn't lazy, he wasn't foolish, but life seemed determined to test him at every turn. Have you ever felt that no matter how much you try, the world pushes back harder? That was Daniel's story. Daniel grew up with big dreams. From the time he was a boy, he wanted to design and build machines that could make life easier for people in his community. While others spent time playing, he tinkered with scrap metal, old wires, and broken motors. His family admired his passion, but they also worried. As he grew older, Daniel faced rejection after rejection. His first invention, a simple water pump system to help farmers, failed miserably. His second attempt broke down within a week. Investors laughed at him, calling him unrealistic. Friends advised him to be practical and get a steady job. Still, Daniel held on to his dream, but every failure chipped away at his confidence. One rainy evening, after another investor turned him down, Daniel sat on his workbench surrounded by broken parts. His hands were greasy, his clothes were torn, and his heart was heavy. He whispered to himself, "Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm not cut out for this." Doubt is a heavy weight. It doesn't just sit in the mind. It eats at the soul. Daniel felt it deeply. Days turned into weeks. He avoided his workshop. He walked past it as if it were a stranger's house. His once bright spirit dimmed, until one morning, while sitting by the window, he saw an old woman struggling to carry water from a far well. She bent under the weight of the bucket, stopping every few steps to catch her breath. The image pierced Daniel's heart. He thought, if I give up, who will help her? If I quit now, what was the purpose of all my effort? That night, Daniel returned to his workshop. He looked at his pile of failed machines not as symbols of defeat, but as stepping stones. He remembered a quote he once heard: "Perseverance is not about never failing. It's about refusing to stop." This time, Daniel changed his approach. Instead of rushing to impress investors, he studied each failure carefully. He reached out to mentors, read books, watched tutorials, and most importantly, he tried again, one small step at a time. Failure didn't disappear, but something inside him shifted. Each setback became fuel instead of poison. Months later, Daniel unveiled his newest design, a lightweight, hand-powered water pump that even children could use. This time, it didn't break. It worked. The first family that used it no longer had to walk miles for water. Word spread quickly, and soon, Daniel's pump was helping entire neighborhoods. Investors who once mocked him came back, eager to support his work. But Daniel had learned something more valuable than money. Perseverance had built not only his invention, but his character. He realized that the journey, the sweat, the tears, the late nights, was what made success meaningful. And so, Daniel's story reminds us of a timeless truth. Perseverance is the bridge between failure and success. Every stumble carries a lesson. Every rejection sharpens resilience. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up is often just one more attempt. So, ask yourself today, what dream have you abandoned too soon? What failure have you let define you? What would happen if you tried just once more? Because sometimes the breakthrough isn't in the 100th step, but in the 101st.